Yeah, I remember getting beat up actually quite, or get into fights. There was only me and one other Asian guy, and just getting into fights quite a lot with a lot of racist abuse. I don't think it happened now, but it happened quite a lot when I was a kid. So I was aware that I was different right from the time I was young. Then Mum and Dad took me back to Singapore when I was 12, because when you're 12, all boys have to go back to prepare themselves for going to the army when they're 18. And then what happened in Singapore was that playtime was fine, mates were fine, but then the education system itself was repressive. You know, they were really harsh. And like, I remember not being able to ask questions in class. And if I asked a question, I got punished. And so immediately I felt a real difference in between the system here and the system in Singapore. Being in the army was boring and a waste of time. And it was 3 years. But it made me really aware that I can't ignore the politics that happens, because it has a real effect on my life, you know? So somebody decided all boys have to go to the army, and we all go. When I said to my mum and dad I want to go to university, and I kind of probably want to study English or poetry or something like that, they said no, you have to study law, engineering or accountancy or medicine. That's what you have to do, because we're not sending you anywhere to do something as silly as poetry or literature. So I thought law, that's closest to English, I think. So I went and I did law for 3 years in Hull. And then what happens is that when you graduate law, you have 6 years in which to start your training to be a lawyer. If you don't start, then your degree goes stale and you've got to take it again if you want to be a lawyer. And I kind of thought, oh, I better do it, you know, because if I don't, then maybe I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I started going for evening pottery classes, and that was when I discovered clay. I just thought, this is fantastic, this squidgy stuff. One day I thought, wouldn't it be great if I actually did law 3 hours a week instead of clay, and did clay the rest of the time? And then that thought just kind of took hold, actually. It kind of became, it was a kind of stupid thought at first, but then it became more and more kind of reasonable for some reason. So then I thought, oh, okay, you know what, I'll just apply and see. I probably won't get it. So I applied, and I got through to an interview. And at the interview, I had no drawings to show them, so I just brought the stuff I had from pottery class, and they accepted. My mum was telling my dad, do you know what? I read in the paper that an artist sold something for $20,000, and I think, you know, maybe he can make money in the future. He can make lots of money. I mean, the great thing about art college is that it's all right to be a bit messy, and it's all right to kind of try different ideas out and see which ones work. So I'm making 3 different things. So I made a British National Party tea service, and I had a tea party. So it's just like your basic kind of cake stand with cups and saucers and a teapot and sugar bowl and milk jug. But what you find underneath, you know, like where underneath the plate or underneath the mug, there's a potter's mark, and the potter's mark there said basically BMP, with a BMP logo, and Stoke-on-Trent, you know, made in Stoke-on-Trent. The work actually is about relationships that we have with each other and through the political system with the BMP. Because if I want my work to affect change, the problem with that is that it makes my work just like instrumental. You know, I'm just using the work to affect change. So I'm not an artist, I'm a politician, actually. If it does affect change, good, you know, but I don't want the work to do that. I think what I want the work to do is, it's just me exploring this issue because it's really important to me.